Welcome to the call, everybody. Got to restart just a little bit. Welcome to the call, everybody. I forgot to record everything. Shoot, I almost wasn't a call of record today. But anyway, welcome everybody that's here. We missed a lot of good stuff, but it's okay. We're going to bring it back. We're going to thank James Ellis for being here. We're going to thank our service. And video is stopped due to recording. Error audio is still in progress. We're going to restart this and see if we can get this going. All right. Welcome to the call, everybody. I'm so glad everyone is here. Welcome, Dallas, Texas. We got Seattle, Washington, Chicago. We got a special guest tonight. We got two special guests tonight, and these are my students. These are people that have taken the time. They've made the investment, not in me, but in themselves. Can I tell you this? If you have the opportunity to make an investment in yourself, or go drinking with the boys, or go buy a hot tub, or go redo your man cave, make an investment in yourself. Then go redo your man cave. Because then at that point, you'll know for sure you'll always have someone to share it with. Otherwise, you move into selfishville. And nothing gets done in that department. I promise you that. So again, I want to welcome everybody to the call tonight. One of the things that is just on a rise right now, and I'm seeing it, is the travel that's going on here in this country. On March the 13th, there was there was an unfortunate death and a shooting of a state national. That's right, or American State National, whatever those Fruit Loops are calling themselves these days. And I mean, it just changes. As soon as somebody says something and really calls them out on it, and they finally get it, they just add an adjective to it and then just continue with the lie. And we've got to do it better because people are getting into trouble. Okay, these people running around with these world passports. Y'all heard of that? You heard of that? People running around with the world passport thinking they're this and that. I know somebody that got charged for filing for giving false information, and they were arrested. You want to ask for that kind of trouble? And here's this. Here's the other question you want to ask yourself. Is how private is it? How private is it? Are you blending in? Are you sticking out like a sore thumb like James so you can make a point? Not everybody can stand up and make that point. Not everybody's in a position to stand up and make that point in their community. But when you are in that position to make that point in your community, you need to stand. And those of you guys that see these folks in your community, you need to stand with them. See, can I tell you, there's nothing there's a whole lot of stuff wrong with this new system, the system that's been running the place. But the problem is that it's got too much momentum. It's got too much equity. What does that mean? That means we got people acting as such. And because we have so many people acting as such, these people all believe that it's real. Let me give you an example. Go to Kenneth Copeland's church. You'll see a whole bunch of people acting as such and not accomplishing a stinking thing. Nothing. Let me tell you something. Tell a big fat lie and you'll fill a stadium. You'll fill a church 3 times a day on Sunday. You'll have 3 services, stack to stack to stack. That means you're lying to somebody. Because you know what? It would take one like-minded person like myself to walk in that room, say a few choice words, and I could separate that entire room. Why? Because they're standing on a lie. Because they're standing in front of somebody that's told them that's acting like a big cheerleader in the game of life. We don't need any cheerleaders. We need leaders. We need people that can get it done. And how are we going to find those people? Well, once upon a time, we used to give that stuff up to Yahweh. We used to let him put those people in charge. And he did a pretty good job too. So guess what? We decided, we got this, you guys. We're going to do it our own way. We're going to have all this little porn stuff going on over here in this country. Do you know that the United States, the United Christian states of America has the most profitable porn industry in the world. Did you know that? Even over Europeans, and they're pretty freaky. So I'm just saying, this is what they're doing over here. This isn't, and we've got to pay attention. We've got to be like James Ellis in our communities. If you see an officer that's doing something he's not supposed to be doing, you know what Jack Miller does here in San Antonio? Google his name, Sheepdog72. You know what he does? Hey, man, what are you doing? Don't you know you need to be doing some stuff? Don't you know you don't need to be blocking this roadway like this? That's what he does. And if you start knocking on their windows and you start calling them out on their behavior, trust me, as soon as they see you, they're going to run. And you don't have to worry about getting pulled over by tickets and stuff. Did you guys watch James' video this week? Did you watch those two donut eaters run back into their little donut shop? They did. They were probably hungry. That one guy looked really hungry, and it looked like it was around lunchtime, too. Looked like he was ready to go on lunch break. You were interfering, James.
Hey, Tim.
Go ahead.
Take a look at Always Film the Police. It's a friend of mine on Instagram, and he goes around Beverly Hills and all over LA helping the veterans, and he talks to police on motorcycles that are shooting guns, and he said, why are you not working for the city instead of wasting our taxpayers' money? And he asks them how they're helping instead of, it's amazing. He's exactly what you're talking about. This guy does it every day. This is what his life says. Always Film the Police is his hashtag.
Well, and this is what we need to be doing. We need to be holding these people accountable. We need to stop sitting.
It's incredible.
We need to stop sitting on the sidelines. That's excellent, and we need more of it. It's got to stop.
I wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, brother.
I wanted to share that.
Thank you. It's got to stop. This stuff has to stop. Because now we got the citizens believing that it's true. You guys want to watch somebody that's very interesting? James Freeman is another guy you want to watch. I've known James Freeman for a long time. He's down here. He's from Texas. And this guy, I've seen him stop officers in Albuquerque because they were drunk and on a motorcycle. Yeah. These things happen. These people are out of control. And the reason why is because nobody's holding them accountable. That's a problem. So, because we are open to the public, because we are available to the public, we do some things that are fundraisers, and we teach some classes, and they're going to benefit you. Are they going to cost you some money? Yes. They're going to cost me some time. And it costs me a whole lot of things to get this information. But I have it, and it works. And it's been tested. We have a way to stand up. We just have to learn how to speak. We have to learn how to operate in our jurisdiction. We have to stop walking into these courtrooms and expecting them to convert to the common law because David Straight gave you some voodoo magic and told you that it worked. Those of you guys this week heard me break down one of their little videos, that poor 73-year-old woman that ranted for 25 minutes. Ugh. And this guy says, look what she accomplished. She didn't accomplish anything except give notice that basically she's not showing up for the next hearing and that she's going to go to jail. And she doesn't care now. And so now it's going to be another 13 days or something. Do you want to be a martyr or do you want to change things? Look, James said something really, and I'm sorry, I know it's like me and James are homies or something, because we are. But James said something that was pretty cool this week that I was really clinging to. And he said that I'm going to learn their jobs. And you know what? If you had an employee that was working for you, don't you think you should know their job too? You know what? I was a landscaping contractor for a lot of years. And every single contractor that came and worked for me, I could do their job. All of it. I never brought anybody on the job site to do anything that I couldn't do myself. Why? Because who else is going to check them and make sure it's done right? How are you going to know that these cops are doing it right? How are you really going to know if you don't know what their job is? You guys want a free nugget? Huh? Here, get this book. Get this book. It's called Police Liability and Risk Management. Get it. Read it. You'll know exactly how these people are trained. And you'll know how they're trained to respond to James. Literally, when you can read this book and watch James on his videos, and they totally act just exactly this, and they follow this to the T. This is why we're not cops, because we can't be brainwashed like that. But they can, and they do. And it seems unbelievable that somebody could be broken down like that, taken apart, and put back together. But I assure you, this is exactly what happens. And this is what happens when you're dealing with a 70 IQ. They have a hard time multitasking. So use it to your advantage. Yes. Very good. That's a very good one too, Gary. And one of the things that I learned and one of the things that I teach in the travel and driving class is how to break their programming. Make these people think on their own. If you start making these people think on their own, it's like pulling their clothes off and they're standing in the street naked. They don't know what to say. You know what they do after that? They get back in the car and they go home. And that's what you want them to do. So anyway, I wanted to bring on, I have a special guest tonight. You guys, you're hearing me talk about all this ticket stuff. You know, Tim Damron's probably full of it, right? Okay, well, tonight I got a special guest that's here, and we're going to be talking about his deal. Now, you guys in TikTok land are not going to be able to hear this, okay? So join me on the call. Come on, you guys in TikTok land, come on out, join me on the call so you can hear real proof of how this stuff goes down and what happens. 1-888-570-7020. That's 888-570-7020. All right. Join us on the call. I'm going to bring my special guest, one of my special guests tonight. His name is David. And he has been a student with me for, I don't know, a while now. And he recently got a ticket. Now, I'm going to tell you, first of all, I usually feel sorry for people when they get tickets. I do. This is the first time I've ever seen a ticket. And I almost was like, dude, just pay the ticket, man. And here's why. He's got one of those GT 500s. It has like 800 horsepower or something. Of course, you're going to get a speeding ticket. I mean, just pay the ticket, right? Nope, not this guy. I'm going to unmute him right now. Welcome to the call, David. So glad that you're here. And I I hope that's some setup.
Hi, Tim. Hi, everybody.
Welcome, man. So glad you're here. Tell us about this whole ticket thing. What happened?
So I was really only doing like 35 miles an hour. I'm kidding you. So I was actually headed home from work, and I was with the flow of traffic. I needed to get over from a lane that was turned off into another highway. So I kind of goosed it a little bit to move over, and there was a police officer in the right lane, and he saw me maneuver to the right lane and slowed down and got behind me, pulled me. It was one of those, I didn't even get a chance to question the officer or push back on him. He came up, it was heavy busy, and I was right on the edge of traffic on the highway, and he came up to the window and says, "Can I see your license?" I showed it to him, and he whips out this handy little device and he scans it really quick, and he walks away. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. I want to talk to that guy. And then, so he came back, and he basically threw the ticket in the window and walked away. And I didn't get a chance to talk to the officer. So basically I took the ticket, and I wrote on the ticket that I do not accept a contract, not going to contract with you. And I stated the public our state law for non-contracting. And I sent it back. After 3 days, I didn't get any response. So I sent it to the local, to the courthouse where the prosecuting attorney is, and to the clerk of courts, with a copy of the ticket and the firm mailing book that I used, and all of the documents involved with me sending back that ticket to the officer.
Right. And
Court
then
date. Go ahead.
And then your court. When was your court date?
It was on the 10th of this month.
Did you go to your court date?
No, I did not.
Do you have a warrant for your arrest?
I do not. It just went away.
So what happened? You just looked up the ticket. What happened?
Yeah, I looked up the ticket, and it was no longer in the system for me to find. So I called the courthouse to find out the status of the ticket in the court case, and they told me that, oh, you have a ticket to pay, and you need to pay it, or it's going to turn into a warrant.
And then I remember you reached out to me and you're like, what do we do?
Yep.
And I said, well, I figured let's just find out if it's BS or not. That's what I was thinking. And I said, well, call them back. And if they want you to pay this ticket, tell them to make a presentment and send it to you. And we'll go ahead and, and we'll just, and let me know what they send you. Right. And then you called them, and then what'd they say?
No, we're not going to send you that.
And they said the ticket was good enough, right?
They said the ticket was your presentment to pay.
Right. And we defeated the ticket, though, right?
And
they accepted it back.
They accepted it back and did not receive any correspondence back.
So the reason that they didn't want to send you another presentment is because if they would have, that would have been mail fraud.
That's correct.
Because we sent them a notice of acceptance by the parties, and they accepted that. And that was that. And the case was over with. So no ticket, no nothing there. Everything's done. And, and the problem is that you have a really cool car. And when they see you change lanes, they see that little bicep on the car kind of flex there. And I think they're just hating, personally. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so too. The interesting part was after he threw the ticket at me, the cop pulled out past me, and he was in a hurry to get someplace. So I followed him, and he was doing 95 up the highway. So I followed him up the highway at 95.
Nice to see you too. Wow. Well, that's an amazing good story, and that's how they're supposed to go every time. We're not supposed to be going to war with these people in the back. And I had another student that should be on the call. And if you're here, could you go ahead and unmute yourself now? Have you guys had a ticket tow too? It was here in Texas, by the way, Weatherford, Texas. Uh-oh. They're probably watching us on TikTok, whatever. I don't care. You can watch if you want to. But, and the last live that I did, actually, there was some sheriff on there that was supposedly watching. But I was like, that's cool, because I've actually had DPS troopers in my travel class. They've infiltrated my travel class, been in my travel class, and they absolutely loved it. They absolutely loved the class. So I got to tell you, the class is coming up in observance of Passover. We've moved it, so it's going to be the 2nd and the 3rd. That is a Sunday and a Monday. So that means that Monday night call is not going to be a call. That's going to be class. So those of you guys that are not in the class, you'll get punted out if you come in. So, but we'd love to have you in the class. Please, if you guys are interested in taking this class, having some success in what you do, there's a lot of time that people spend in this, and I'm hearing these people, they say, I've been doing this for 10 years, and there's still dust in the wind like Kansas out there. And, and I mean, that's nothing to brag about. You should put a bag over your head and be ashamed of yourself. Seriously. You should know that if you've been limping around these corridors for over 10 years, okay, you're missing something. You left the house without something. Remember those old commercials that said, Never leave home without it. Remember those? The American Express commercials? Well, I've never had an American Express card in my one day of my life. I've never had one. And you know what? I'm doing pretty good, so I don't think I need one now. But I think metaphorically speaking, it's telling us that we need to leave the house with some security. We need to walk out from our homes when we embrace our wives and our kids and we leave the house. We need to be on a solid ground, because your house, if you have any kind of stand for morality, is going to be under attack at some point, big or small. And Yeshua spoke to his disciples about, building your house on the rock, building your house on the sand. And we've got to have standing. See, we keep hearing these words. So how do we have the best standing? How do we beat these guys? We operate in equity, and we understand equity. What you heard David talk about tonight was making proper presentments, acceptance of those proper presentments, witnesses. See, I'm giving it all to you right now. This is all free 99. Witnesses that saw it happen. What witnesses? Come take my class. I'll explain it to you. It's a 3-hour discussion. And you have traction in law. Like real traction. Not that voodoo magic stuff. Real traction. And you just heard it. Hopefully my other student will come jumping on here in a second. And we can talk about his ticket. And if you are on, just go ahead and say something, because I don't recognize your phone number.
Hey, Tim, while you're waiting for that, you might even talk a little bit about the other scenario that we were working on with the HUD and the mortgage. Basically, they tried to contract, and we would not contract. I would not contract with them. And this went on for months.
Well, you tell him. Go ahead. Tell him all about it. This is another case that I helped David on. Yeah. And anyways, another case I helped David on. And David does a couple things. He's part genius, and the other part, he's dad. And you'll hear his little one in the background there. He's adorable. So a lot of chips and salsa in that house. Go ahead, brother.
So one day I had I just purchased a home, and I don't know, maybe a year later, a couple officers from HUD showed up wanting to get information because the mortgage company couldn't verify something that they had all the data for. And so they gave me a affidavit to fill out to send into the courts to basically incriminate myself, so they could open a court case against me and go subpoena all my records.
And who would do that?
Yeah, nobody in their right mind.
See?
So this went on several times where they would send me a present. So we actually responded. I actually responded with oh geez, I gotta get my head in the game here. We talked about
those. We just did some templates. He had some templates that I sent over, and he basically filled out all the important information. You sent it to them, and how many times did they try to make you go down and go file something? Was it like twice or something? 3 times?
Oh no, it was 5, almost 6. I think it was 6 times.
Of course it was, those demons.
Yeah, 6 times.
Oh my gosh, who's throwing the cops at me over there? Who's doing that?
Yeah, so and at the end, didn't contract with them at all.
Right.
And it went away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because they have that rule, the 3 no's and you go, kind of thing. And that's kind of the deal. I don't know if he made it on the call tonight. He may have had to work tonight. I think he may have had to work tonight. I have another student that was going through the same thing, and you should see all the backpedaling they did in his case. So they got all weird, and they sent him notice stating that his special appearance was denied, and that he still has to show up in court. That's kind of backwards, considering that they're acknowledging that they got the notice of special appearance. That means he already did appear. That means that the judge should have issued a new court date. So, they don't even know what to do. This is This is what happens when you start dealing with some of these inbred, retarded communities out here in Texas, some places. I think they just need to stop playing with their sisters or something out there. I don't know what's going on out there, but it's ridiculous. Yeah, lots of snakes. But we have to. Yes, I absolutely teach equity, and if you were listening, you would see that David gave 2 situations, free nuggets, you guys. 2 situations where we made the proper presentments, they accepted them, and then we had the right to enforce. This is what these guys and these groups are not teaching you. This is what Jonah Bay doesn't know how to do. This is what David Straight's dreaming of. It's not gonna happen, dude. It's not gonna happen. He can dream on a white Christmas all he wants to. And for some guy that allegedly reads the Bible cover to cover, he hasn't learned a single thing from it. Nothing. You're dealing with a traffic ticket in Colorado, as we discussed. Well, then you're supposed to be on the call, silly man. 1-888-570-7020. What are my thoughts on the W-4 process? There's no such thing. That's my thoughts on the W-4 process. And that's like throwing your stuff up in the air or throwing dirty underwear against the wall and seeing if it's going to stick. It really is. And it's just, stop it. Stop running around in circles for these people, because you know what? You're just entertaining them. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. You're entertaining these guys. Welcome, everybody. Glad you guys are here. Uh-oh. Something happened. Oh, somebody in Tiki Talk land got hurt. Looks like we're down on one channel, and it's all right. We got the other channel. It's still here. No worries. No worries. That's why we run on 2 channels in case they cry. We got Kleenex for 2. Welcome to the call, everybody. So glad everybody's here. Who cares? All right. So what we're learning and what we're talking about is equity, okay? If you learn to operate in equity, if you learn to know where your courts are and stop walking into these courts and trying to convert them, because they're not going to. You hear me? I'm going to say it one more time. They will not do it. Did you guys hear the 25-minute spiel that 73-year-old lady posted on David Straight's page? And he posted a little thing there and says, look, she's standing up for her rights. We're so proud of her. You know what? She accomplished nothing. And she became a martyr for what? Nothing. That's not going to get it done, guys. But you saw what happened with David just now. You saw what happened with his ticket. It disappeared. Why? How? He didn't pay it. He's got a GT 500. He deserves it. He can afford it. I know that. But you know what? He was smart enough to know the rules of contracting. He was smart enough to stay in the private, keep his mouth shut. He didn't go down there and make a 25-minute spiel to go to court. He never went to court. He showed up in his person. He showed up by affidavit and by witness of such. And by doing that, even on my other student, that they said that they denied his stuff. I'll be working on that tomorrow for him and helping him. And there's an easy way around that, because once a judge denies something, now you have the right to appeal, and it's all pretrial, so he can't set an appeal bond. Oops. So now who's spinning the carousel now? See, this is what I want to teach you in this class. I want to teach you in this class so that you know that you can spin this very same carousel that they're spinning on you. You can spin it on them too. And I'll show you where the master switches are, because it works. You want your country back? You want your county back? Stand up. But don't stand up out in your front yard in your underwear with your water hose talking trash. That ain't going to get it done, guys. Stand up. Really stand up. Don't act like you standing up. Don't act like you have something to say. Get out and do something. Show some fruits in what you do. I've seen Tory stand against his community. And you know what? Doesn't matter the end result. They know who Tory is. And they know what they're going to get. I've seen James do it. I got the same report card for him, too. Tim Damron's got one of those, too. And guess what? We're all still here. Our blood pressure is low. Our cholesterol is probably a little high. But that's all right, because we're still here. And we're going to be bringing it. Until we take our last breath, we're going to be bringing it. And we have to. We have to. Because our children and whatever's left of this youth, they need us. Young ladies, you need to listen to these older ladies. You need to listen to these people in their 40s and their 50s. We saw everything go up and down. We saw this whole thing get built. Okay? All the music you're listening to today, we've already heard it. It was all our music. It was. All of it. It's just all remakes now. Nothing changes. Yahweh's word never changes either. Equity never changes. You want to win this deal? Learn equity. Learn to stand tall in your community. Let your community know who you are. You don't have to be all out in their face. You don't have to do it like James Freeman, although I like watching him. You don't have to do it like James Ellis, but I like watching him. You can do it quietly. Not like Tory either. But you can do it quietly. And you can do it privately. And you can be more dangerous than Gaddafi. You can be more dangerous than anybody. Why? Because you have an opportunity to contract. You have the unlimited ability to contract. You have the unlimited ability to contract. Businesses don't have that privilege. Municipalities don't have that. They have limits on how far they can contract. They have, they have statutory limits. But you, the living person, you don't have any limits. And if you know what you're doing, you have the unlimited ability to discharge. That should make you feel good, not cocky. That should make you feel complete. Okay?
Hey, Tim.
Go ahead.
So I believe I talked to you yesterday, actually. This is Pablo. So
oh, hey,
question,
Pablo. Go ahead, brother.
So like I said, I called the sheriff's department and there's no warrant because I didn't show up. But the courts are stating that there is a warrant. And I know we discussed this, and I tried to reach out. I did reach out to the bondsman, and they even called, and sheriff has nothing in file. The bondsman offered to just take me down there, go do it, but there was no guarantee that they wouldn't arrest me on the spot there.
But at least he'll be there to take you out, like right then and there. They'll do your paperwork, they'll fingerprint you, and you're in, you're out. So I would do that if you have the ability to go down. And not only that, again, moving in equity. If you show up with a bondsman and you're ready to pay or play, let's go right now, and they're not ready to play, then that's going to cancel this whole thing. If you leave this thing open, then they have an opportunity to regroup. So it's very important that you do it head on. Like I was just saying, we have the unlimited ability to contract. If there's an opportunity for you to contract and stay in honor, do it. Probation
So
contract with Texas.
the fact they didn't respond and sent it to a different address, which they claim they sent back a response, but I never received nothing. I mean, would that put them in dishonor?
Well, absolutely it does. But right now, you need to clarify whether or not there's a warrant or not a warrant. If there's not a warrant, then all that other stuff doesn't matter. See what I'm saying? Because they have no standing after the fact. Because if that's bull, then the rest of it's bull. Go ahead, Gary. What you got?
I was just going to ask: have they pretty much done away with personal recognizance bonds?
Oh no, they got PR bonds. They still got those.
Okay.
Welcome, cool nurse. Let me get this little question here. I got a great little question here. Glad you're here from New Boston, Texas. And I remember speaking with you on the phone. You're James's friend, right? That's right? You could just nod. I think that's you, right? You're James's friend, right? Yes. Awesome. I'm really glad that you're here. Oh, and she knows Randy Hardgrove too. Yeah, he was subject. He was enemy number 1 today. So, what can I do if I'm already engaged in a probation contract with Texas to the end of the contract and not have to pay fines and fees of $4,500 by the end of August? Tell them that you are indigent. You tell them that this has created a disability and you are indigent and unable to do such, and that you appeal to the court and you wish to discharge all matters due to your indigency and and reserve all of your rights in the Americans with Disabilities Act. Actually, make an appointment with me and we'll clean that up and we'll spend 30 minutes together and let's do that, okay? I got you.
Can you actually, Tim, could you actually say how to exactly make the appointment on your website? I've tried before just through the contact and the email.
No problem.
I don't think that it went through that way.
No problem. So here's what you do. You just go to the House of Yah communityoutreach.com. And those of you guys in TikTok land, just go up to my profile. Just go into my profile. You'll see the web address. Or check any of my videos. They're almost all in. They're in every one of them. Anyway, go to the House of Yah communityoutreach.com. Click on the button at the top that says Contact Us. And it will set you up for an appointment. And go ahead and just set that appointment. And we'll get you all set up. But that's how you do it. Simple pimple. For those of you guys that are interested in taking classes, you go click on workshops and read through the workshops and the dates coming up. And then what you'll need to do is interview with me and we'll schedule a class with you. So, and it's not every class. I just need to know who you are. That way, when we do have this class, I make sure I'm talking about the right stuff.
Look. It's Simba. Oh, it's Simba.
Who is that?
Silly Groovy.
All right, James. Wow. Okay, guys, please mute yourselves when you guys jump off the call. Nobody, respectfully, we're focused.
So sorry about that. So sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. All right. So anyway, let's just be mindful of that stuff. Make sure we log in and log out. So, you've got to learn equity. You've got to really set yourself up because we have 2 different parts of us. Okay. We have the public side of us, which is what everybody sees. And then we have the private side. Okay. And for what we are given, we have this is like what they tell us about the private side. Here you go. It's like this. This is it. That's all you need to know about the private side. That's it. And they couldn't be farther from the truth. There's so much more that we need to learn, but we need to learn to operate in commerce, and we can't do both. Yes, subrogation is a part of equity. Why do I talk down on DLS? Why does everybody talk down on DLS? You talk down on DLS because he's a liar. And he's about that stolen valor. And you're a criminal in this country if you do that. And if I catch you, if any of my brothers catch you, I can assure you we are firm believers in laying hands on folks, especially in this church. You show up and you want to steal somebody's valor and you want to just take all this stuff without paying your dues. Let me tell you, man, these vets paid a lot of dues, and that's a big deal. So one of the reasons that I do not like him is that. The other reason is that he's out giving you guys a bunch of legal advice, and he's never filed a single court case in his entire life. And he doesn't come with clean hands. He doesn't come with clean hands at all. Jason, you need to watch your line over there. You keep popping in and popping out, and you got a lot of noise going on back there behind you. So just watch your line, man. I don't know why it's popping in and popping out. Just keep an eye on that. And all of you guys that have served this country, you have my respect, 100% of it. And that's what we're all about here at the House of Yah Community Outreach. All the funds that are raised, we use these so that we can help our homeless vets, so we can get them there. Last year, we actually got, she was a homeless vet out of New York, and they owed her so much back pay. We helped her fill out all of her stuff, and she got over 200 and something $1,000 back in back pay. And we were able to get her into a house, get her moved from New York all the way to Texas. And she's here now. I talk to her all the time. And I saw her at her absolute worst. This is what we do. And we don't just do it here in Bexar County. We're doing it all over the country. I do it anywhere I have an opportunity. And that's how we roll. Go ahead, Gary. What you got?
I was just going to say about David Strait. He got pulled over probably about 8 months ago in Johnson County, and for speeding. And he talked his way out of the ticket there on the side. But the deputy told him, says, "You do know you still have a registered car in Oregon, right?" So he doesn't walk the walk that he preaches,
right,
at all.
Yeah, he was just saying that David Strait apparently got pulled over last week or something, and the officer reminded him that he does have a registered car in some state. After, I'm sure, he got some big lesson, one of Grandpa's stories over there on the side of the road. And hey man, the guy's a con man. He's good at talking his way out of stuff. But here's the thing: if you can tell the truth and still walk out, that's when you know you got him licked.
Thank you, Doogie. He got
Thank
up
you,
and
guys.
he wouldn't get up. Now Hobo is up there.
I missed that. Go ahead, say that one more time.
Oh, he's hungry. He's eating. I don't know why he actually don't want to get up.
Okay, and that was Tom. Tom hit his button again. He hit his snooze button again. Hey man, I'm just really glad everybody's here. If you guys have any questions or comments about this upcoming travel class, it's going to be on the 2nd and the 3rd, and we're going to be going through it all. I'm going to be posting some cool videos here this week so you guys can get an idea as to what kind of templates to expect from this class. Yeah, they're the best you've ever seen. I promise you that. Why? Because they work. Because you won't have to hide anywhere. They'll run your plates. They'll know exactly who you are. Yeah. Yeah. And that's how you make a statement. You don't make a statement when you come sneaking into places. Okay? But if you can blend in with everybody else, then the statement has already been made. What we've got to do is we've got to learn to operate this straw man in commerce. And we don't know how to do it because we're just commingling too many things. All right, man. Did you make it on the call? Those of you guys made it on the call. Welcome, Houston. And I was just seeing if anybody else had made it on the call. I guess my other guest is not going to make it tonight, and it's kind of a bummer. I was really hoping he would be here, but I'll probably get him on the next call. Is there any other questions, comments? Anybody out in TikTok land got anything they want to ask? Go ahead and peck them out there. I'm glad to hear it. And I know you guys can't hear Gary, and the reason you guys can't is because we are broadcasting from 2 platforms. So we have the Uber conference platform here, and you can check us out at 888-570-7020. It's 100% free. Doesn't cost you anything. No memberships, nothing to sign up. I don't want your firstborn. Just come on the call, bring your questions. I'm happy to answer them. And if I don't have the answer, I'm looking around this room right here. There's enough experience. There's enough experience in this room right now that I see. We could solve a lot of problems in this room. So, this is a good time. Absolutely. If you're not a vet, I'll help you, man. We help everybody. We just really like our vets a lot. And here's what I don't like. I don't like how our vets are being treated. I don't believe anybody should be used up and thrown away. So anyway, you guys have any questions? Just go ahead and knock them out. It's good. So what status do we need? You know what status you need? You need to manage your status. You need to learn who you are. You need to learn how all this stuff works, how the fingers and the toes. You remember how we learned this as a baby? You know how we'd sit there on our back and touch our toes and go, oh, how does it taste? Okay. You got to learn that stuff about this straw man, man. That's what this is all about. You've got to make that investment in yourself, because if you don't make the investment in yourself, it ain't going to happen. And when your people start saying that you're crazy and that you've made up your own God or anything like that, you're on the right track. I promise you. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, James.
Hell, I forgot what I was saying. I'll come back whenever I remember. I was listening to
Man, I'm glad he's on the call, man. But it's true. It's true. You know, there's a way to do this, and there's a way to do this right and with honor. Okay. And you know, sometimes people need an open rebuke, and you may have to do that. You may have to do what James did. And you know what? Go do it. They work for you. And if you don't show them that they work for you, then they're going to keep doing whatever they're doing. And that's why we have all these problems. This is why we don't have transparency in government. This is why it takes so many people to run a little city like Albuquerque. You know why? Because it takes that many people to cover up all the lies. It only really takes like 3 people to run a city. Really, you need you need a mouthpiece. You need somebody to take care of the money. You need an IRS person, and everything else is subcontracted. You don't need anybody else. But why do we have to have all these people? So they can cover, so they can lie. You don't believe me? Look how many people it takes to make a movie. That's the biggest lie you'll ever watch, right? Because that's their job, is to create, you see. And how many actors does it take to do it? How many millions of dollars does it take to create a believable lie? Think about that. It takes a bunch. And that's why they're all working in government. That's why they're working at NASA, so they can make more Star Wars movies. I don't know. You know? Because they're just not getting it.
Hey,
We've got to
Tim,
do it. Go ahead.
you've got a couple questions that have popped up on TikTok, and I don't know if you missed them or not. People are asking how they get in contact with you, the cost. And I'd also typed one in. I'd like to know, you held up that book earlier. Are there any others that you recommend besides that one?
Yes.
Just
There are
look
some
into
other
that.
books. Thank you, man. Yes, there are some other books that I recommend, but you'll need to take my classes to do that. I'm giving you guys lots of nuggets tonight. Don't ask for the whole treasure chest, because you're not going to get it. But do I do tax returns every year? Yes, I do. Do you have your private bankers? Yes, I do. I am unemployed for 4 months and volunteer at the VA every day. That's what's up. But I am trying to learn. Good for you. I was a vet from San Antonio who told me about you. That's what's up. Well, hit me up, man. If you're here in San Antonio, hit us up. I'm glad to come and help you. We're glad to do anything we can to help you. But if you want to take my classes, you got to pay me. If you need help, if you need prayer, if you need anything, man, just set an appointment with me, man. I'm happy to do it. And I spend 8 to 10 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, talking to all of you guys. This is what I do. Sometimes from 8 in the morning till 6 p.m. at night, with enough time to go run to the bathroom like really fast. And I do this all week long. Okay. And I do this because I don't want anybody to think that, oh, Damron's out there money hungry and he just needs to get paid. He doesn't do that. We just have certain things that we charge for. But there's a lot of things we don't charge for. If you want to talk to me, I don't charge you for that. Stupid. I'm not that important, to be honest with you. I'm really not that important to be charging by the minute to be talking to. And I know some people, oh no, you should do it in this and this. No, I'm not. I'm just a person. I put my pants on just like Gary did, just like Bert did, just like James did, Peter, John, and John Boy, and everybody else from the Waltons group. Yes, I do it just the same way. And I'm nobody better. I'm a servant of Yahweh. That's who I am. But is a man worthy of his labor? Yes. Yes, he is. Have I paid some dues? Yes. I lost my kids. I lost 2 of my kids. I don't see them. I haven't seen them in over 15 years. And I had to live with that madness and learn how to heal from all of that so that I could come here today and tell you this is how this system works. This is why it makes
I
me
can
mad.
tell you.
This is why it makes me
Sorry.
mad when people come out and just start talking. Go ahead, Jason.
I've been trying to learn all this stuff for this past year myself until I met Tim, and I've been trying to put together, and I've seen all those different people that you guys talk about, and I can tell you, for the only class that I have paid for, which is Tim's class, I learned more on the class last week that we did, the 2-day class on it's just all the basics. It took everything and put it all together so you could understand it. Now I'm still a little confused on some things, and I'm trying to finish up all my documents but I'm about
for you.
90% there. And I want
Good
to thank
job.
you very much. And I sent you an email that has all the info and how far I've come so far with it. And I really do
I
want to
saw
just
it.
thank you because, okay, great. Because I really
You're
think
awesome,
that
man. Yeah.
it's making a big difference. And like even some of the friends that I know that I've told about this, they all say, well, why can't you just pay somebody to do this all for you? And I said, you actually can if you want to spend $10,000. I said, but the whole point is if you don't understand it to learn it, then you can't teach other people. And I said, and once you understand the process, it all starts to make sense in how you can operate like you're talking about in equity. And it just all starts to make a lot of sense. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Peter nailed it right on the head. Peter says you can't use it if you don't understand it. And I have a
It's
few
so
people,
true.
I have a few people in my class that actually went out, paid people to do their stuff, and they're taking my class right now to figure out how to use all this new furniture they got.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, it's big. It's a lot of stuff. And sure, it's easy to pay somebody to do your paperwork. I could probably sit here and bang out paperwork all day long, have operators standing by and, rent out half of the IBM building to do it. I probably could.
I'm glad you don't. I'm glad that
No.
you make us go through the process.
No, I'm going to make you guys work for it. I had to work for it. You guys got to work for it. Hold on, I'm going to catch this question here. Do you believe what you teach gives the same benefits as those who teach the American state nationals? No. And here's why. The American state national process teaches you to expatriate yourself from this country. And then they're telling you to come back and come get your stuff. Well, once you file that AOR, you're not entitled to receive anything about your SESA QV trust. You've abandoned it. It's gone. And for you poor people that have gone through all the trouble of endorsing your or getting your COLBs authenticated and then sending them to the Treasury in Puerto Rico, you just wasted a whole bunch of time for nothing and you accomplished nothing. Trust me, ask the people that have done it. It's true. Full nurse says, so it's correct. I don't need to use my personal email, nor my personal phone number, nor my personal address when forming an LLC and EIN. That's correct. But again, an LLC is something that is public, okay? And you're setting yourself up to do public business when you have an LLC. When you operate under trust, you're operating in private, but you still have all the benefits of the LLC. So schedule an interview with me. I'll clear that up a little bit more for you. And let me get back to the state nationals group too. These guys are more interested in making a political statement than they are in actually doing something. And you got to have a plan. Whenever you do anything, you have to have a plan. You can't just go out there and just go blow stuff up and then expect something to get done from that. It's not going to get done. And these American state nationals, well, here's another big difference. Nobody in my group in the last 7 years has ever been shot by a police officer. Not one of them. We've certainly washed plenty of tickets. But in spite of all that, not one person has had this problem. Go ahead, man. What you got? James, go ahead. I didn't see that you unmuted there.
Oh, that's fine. No, the difference between what you're teaching people and what they teach people is you don't get rid of anything through your process. You actually privatize one aspect and elevate the other.
Correct.
That's it. Pretty
And
simple.
what are they doing in their process? What do you see them accomplishing?
One, they're wasting a bunch of time because state nationals is made up.
Right.
It's just made up. I'm
Well,
tired
you
of
guys,
arguing with people.
I had a student. I have a new student, and he actually sent me his paperwork, and I posted on TikTok. I covered up his name, but I posted on TikTok, and it said that there's no state nationals, no such thing. The Department of State said it, and
Yeah,
I
we're
don't.
not changing the status. We're just clearing up the presumption. That's it.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, Tori. What you got?
Yeah, anything to do with Anna Von Wright or David Strait is BS.
I have to agree. I mean, I think you could put it. I think you could can it. If you could sell BS, you could put David Strait and Anna Von Wright in bean dip cans, and you could sell it every Super Bowl.
Not saying they don't have some things that may be right or wrong when it comes to law or whatever, but their process is just a joke.
It is. Well, and they don't have any fruits. Hold on, I'm going to check this out here real quick. Let's see. I have all the straw man books, Black's Law. That's awesome. And here's why, and you're saying that you're confused. And the reason why that you're confused is because there's that invisible veil and you're just not seeing the other side. You're not seeing the ripples in the water. Like when you throw a rock in the lake and you see the ripples, you're not seeing those ripples finishing themselves out when they hit the beach or they hit the land. You're not seeing it through. And it's just, there's just more. There's just so much more. Anyway, and there's a lot of stuff that is confusing. So here's what you do. Follow the successes of a man, never follow a man. I'm going to say that again. Follow the successes of a man, never follow a man. And here's why. At some point in time, Tori is going to burn your dinner. That's right. He's going to burn it. Or it's going to show up and it's going to be cold. Or if you're at his house long enough, it might be half eaten if you get up to go to the bathroom. You just never know. He's all laughing now because I'm picking on him. Those green screens only cover so much. Steak and ale. Anyway, so don't hold me up at gunpoint about it though. Don't do that. You know, we got to do this right. And if you want to do this right, people are asking me, how do we contact me? Okay, so this is how you contact me. Go to the House of Yah communityoutreach.com. And if you go, those of you guys in TikTok land, look at my profile and you'll see the web address right there. Click on contact me or contact us, some variation of that, and you'll have an opportunity to set an appointment with me. Please, it's free. It's all free. I'm happy to do it. My doors are open to the public all the time, and I'm happy to help you, happy to talk with you, happy to pray with you, most importantly, and anything else. It doesn't matter, man. It's totally good. We're happy to do it. We're happy to serve the public. But tonight, we have reached the end of this call. And I got to tell you, it's been great. I want to thank David for being on the call tonight. I want to thank James for being on the call tonight. Tori, the rest of you guys. McKinney, Texas, thank you for being on the call tonight. Gary Don, appreciate you guys so much. And I want to thank all of you guys out in TikTok land for your support. Guys, repost these videos, okay? Look at my videos. And if you like what you see, if you think that it's going to benefit your friends, repost them, okay? I'm dropping nuggets all over the place. I'm finishing every sentence that they can't. You know why? Because I've done it. I'm not a spectator. I'm the boy that's run the ball. And I'll run it up and down the field, right, left, doesn't matter. Anywhere you want, I'm there. And that's where we have to be in this process. You want to win, don't you? You want to win? You want your kids to win? Walk in with a winner. There's a way that seems right unto man, but the end thereof is foolishness and death. You don't believe me? Look at these state nationals. You need to be concerned. And if you're one of these state nationals, you need to check your belief systems. You need to check everything. You need to weigh everything. Weigh what you're doing. And what I'm saying is, see the value in it. And if it's not giving you the results for the amount of consideration that you're giving it, it's time for you to move on. Don't let your pride get in the way of trying to make it work. Maybe you just need a better source. And I'm not telling you it's me, but here's what I am telling you. It's Yahweh. And he'll send you the right people. And if you have just a little bit of faith, that's all it takes. And he'll do the rest. I want you guys to have a wonderful week. May Yahweh bless you. I look forward to speaking with you guys. If you guys want to set an appointment with me, want to talk about the upcoming class or just talk, do it, please. Lisa, I look forward to talking with you. I think you guys are all such decent people, and I want to get to know more of you. So be blessed, everyone. We'll see you guys next Monday night, 6 p.m. Central Time. Join us on here. Thank you, Cool Nurse. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Mr. Tim, can you talk in an hour?
No, I have I have something going on. Set an appointment. We'll get together tomorrow for sure.
Okay, buddy. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for the class.
Blessings. Bye bye.
Bye bye.